Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're taking a look at a few artifacts that are on the side of the creek that were just washed out. We're sitting and standing on a fired clay embankment that was created by the ancient people. You can see how all these stones are placed inside of here. This entire embankment is actually fired and cooked to maintain it, I imagine. So here on this statue, you can see how there's just the smallest little silhouette poking out of this side. And look for where the eye should be. You'll be able to see light carvings and colorations for that. Now on the ends of this, you can see how there's a large mammoth. So we're showing a person probably following the mammoth. You can see the mammoth trunk. You can see how these zigzags, this defined W is done here. It goes all the way down actually. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And then you can see the mammoth right here. You can see how the hump and the texture of the mammoth is done. And part of that texture is, of course, the moss, which really helps it. It makes it really look like a woolly mammoth. So this is part of an effigy set. There are more stones inside of this set that are at the bottom there. But I think this one is a really fantastic one. And let's go ahead and take a look at a few more. Every single one of these stones that is in this creek is a ceremonial piece. It is a effigy, so to speak. So we have some really neat ones here that we can kind of take a look at. Now, not looking at the very edge of the stone, but looking more in the middle. You can see how these two eyes, watch when I tilt this and you'll see the silhouette perhaps come to life if I can get the angle correct. Now, you wouldn't be able to put all the minute fine details of the face on the very edge of the stone. In this case, it looks like they put a bird on the end. It's also a weird character. It's so many things, and that's why it doesn't just pop out and look like one thing. So I was looking for the gorilla on here. For some reason, I thought I saw a primate, but I might just have primates on the mind. So here's the tools that are out here. You can see how these diamond-shaped weird spear points are done. They have these curved, sharpened and flattened edges. You can see how they actually resemble in some which way an animal. So in this case, it's resembling, well, I'm not even going to describe it. Let's just say the duck or the bird head here. There's some fine, very fine carvings on here that I know that you just won't be able to see yet. Here's one with some beautiful color on it that we can take a look at, try to interpret. Looking at the bird on the right-hand side, you can see how that definitive beak is done. But there's more to it. This is kind of like a hand axe. Go ahead and show you some of the edges on it. This one has a lot of smaller little faces in it. It's another higher level stone, so it's going to be hard to describe this to you guys. I'm going to keep on looking for the easier ones for us. And if you're not seeing any of them just yet, just hold tight and something will pop out at you, just like, you know, we kind of showed you there with the mammoth here. I believe we have another representation of a mammoth or two with what looks like a woman's face pointing to the right-hand side. There's going to be a few faces there, but the mammoth or elephant there might have a small one at the bottom and then a larger one on top. And then when they tilt it, you can see how the eye really comes out very well. Looks like there's a carving there for like behind the ear. So you can actually see behind the ear a little bit. And then looking right at us is a portrait of a girl. And if you're not seeing the girl, let me go ahead and step up here just a little bit. That way I can point it out a little better. You can see how the face is white. Denoted right here, you can see how the eye is right there. You see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lashes, the center of the eye in like a gray color. I can point her at us just a little bit. You see how it's like a faint photograph, just painted in on the stone there. And then if you look further on that, looking at that as the face, you can see how there's possibly like a big symbol on her forehead. And she's all dressed up with her hair all up and all back, ready for action. This is a really beautiful statue here. Again, another ghostly, faint ghost image. You can see the black eye portrayed there. Now that we've seen that, let's look at this side for more, because we'll be able to see it a little bit better. See some kind of character. Might be a big bird head on the top. I'm not sure if it's facing to the left or the right. Looks like it's facing to the left. So we can see the big orange beak. You can see how the eye is done, the big circle eye, the dot in the middle of it, and you can see how the lines are done coming out of it. It looks like there's a bird beak to the right and the left, so it's hard to say. But at least you guys are able to see that eye. The circles coming out of it, the way it's done. Looks like an all tucked in version is what we call this. There's the eye and the nose and the mouth, like a little alien figurine, all tucked in. She's always the same, always looks the same. It's like a child, all tucked in like a little space outfit. I don't know if it's a space outfit, but it's just all wrapped up. So there's so many great ones here, guys. And part of me doesn't like taking apart this stuff because this is all one set. And so I want to show you just all the big white crystals, the yellow crystals, the stones from all over the country are all separated and put here in this one location. Interestingly, you know, and you could ask yourself what would cause that, right? So on top of here, there's a really great one that I want to share with you. There's a few, looks like a spear point of some sort. Just another one of those little cutters. The kind of weird silhouettes that we have in here. So, as weird as it is, that's, you know, one of the effigies has faces and things on it. Here's a pretty easy to see bird head. You can see how it's like a cardinal head. And you can see how the beak is done. Very militarized bird. Looks like he's ready for business. Beautiful bird effigy there. That might help to see the carvings. And let's flip him over and see if he becomes like a hawk. And of course he does, with the eye now changing to up here. And the round beak and the more fluffy crest. And we could turn him this way. You can see the round section here. So there's going to be some other images on that. Just a couple faces over here on this side. We might actually have another mammoth here perhaps, but maybe our mammoth is, yeah, mammoth is on the right hand side, a mastodon, perhaps a very tall one. You can see the way that the eye at the very front of the mammoth, just to the left of my finger, just a little small eye there. And how the ridge, see the zigzags for the head, denoting the head from the trunk and the front leg. Very nice. Here's a gateway example, which is a yellow piece of quartz that's all yellow on one side and all black and opaque on the other. It has a beautiful smell. These, once you pull them out of where they came from, they are scented, and it just got a rush of that beautiful smell. So on this one, we're looking at the interior of the stone. I can actually cover up kind of what we don't need to look at. You can see just in this outline here, how the eye is done right there. The mouth is right here, and the rest of that is hair. Let's flip it over. It's going to be easier to see upside down, I believe. Already just pointing upward though, you can see how the skull is done there. Let's see if I can move that around so you can see it a little better. There you go. Super fun. So this is one that we're gonna have to put up here so I can show you. So just like a drawing, there's, in this section here, there's going to be an image of a person. And this section back here is the hair coming back. Just imagine that as woman's hair. And then when you start to look at the picture here, which it's all wet, so it's a little tough to see, but The mouth is down below. And each one of these sections is going to have different figures on it. You can see the circle eye here, and the nose and the mouth of a larger character that I'm holding here, with the separation for the hair being, of course, this right here at the top. Let's get a better look at that so you guys can see it. Try to get a good look there. See, in different shadows and in different lights, it changes on you. This is an interesting piece. It's a whole high level piece though. It's a little hard to show this one. So these are the pieces that kind of let us know that this stuff was possible though. There's another pretty nice blade. And it's always shaped like a duck head, you can see. It's a bird head in several different directions. And I want to put that back because right now we're kind of on like Holy Land here. This section especially is a fortified area that has just every single thing is, you know, an old paleo tool. And so with respect to this particular site, I don't want to just rip everything out of here, you know, because there are some pretty cool things in here, and there's even what looks to me like a green. Look at this. It's got beautiful green color to it. You can see the image just looking right at us. So the right eye, the left eye, the nose, and the mouth. It's just a painting of a person on a stone. You can of course see the one on the right as well. Coming out here. So look at this as being the nose for one pointing toward the left. I'm taking this one. There's a beautiful one pointing to the right. Is this pottery? Is this clay? This might be clay. I think it is, because you can still see all the engravings and markings and stuff on it very easily. You can see how the little silhouette is poking to the left. Look where the eye should be. I'm going to flip this over in a minute. Look at this as being the nose, and you see the eye in orange, the mouth right here. How the rest of it is smooth. You can see a carving, see the hole for an eye back there. And as you guys know, sorry, excuse me, you want to pull these away a little bit sometimes to get a better look. You can see the lines on her face. See this big stripe here and this big stripe here with the dot in the middle of it? That is a large eye. This art is about awareness. Just in this carved section here, we're going to see an image pointing toward the left. And flipping this one over, you can see how the old man face comes out, using this as the nose. It's a little more high level, but on the right hand side you can see this is the eye of a painted character. Very big nose, big chin. Might have a hook bill nose. This is a high level piece of prehistoric Stone Age art, and if you're able to see it, really count yourself lucky. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and take this one because I do believe it is a pottery. It's actually made of that green sandstone. It's a painted piece of it though, and it's very fragile. I've got some more of that green sandstone, but go ahead and take a look at this bird here, facing to the left, it looks like. This beautiful, big, polished piece of quartz. And sorry for my tone, I could brighten it up a little bit. Big, polished piece of quartz. So you see this long face? We can tilt that long face over. It's gonna take a second to figure this one out, guys. And we're running out of sunlight. So the clay pack is still residing on the eye of this person. That's a dense, fired on piece of clay. And you can see how inside of there's just the smallest little crystal still left. This is a really nice one. Just the shape of it. Can't really see the images on it just yet, but it's a classy piece. It's very clean and defined. Doesn't have, you know what you're looking at when you find it. I can see right here the nose, of course, I'm looking, but it's hard to make out what we're dealing with in this one. Definitely a big bird head here, if there was to speak. But after that, the reason why I'm really not seeing it is because I'm not trying to rush because we're losing sunlight very quickly. And there's one that I really still need to show you over here. Let's see what we got. The one that I wanted to show you down here a little further. We can take a look at this one. It's going to be a higher level one, but you can see all the carvings on it. How it's all notched and knobby. And on these lines on the interior are going to be your images. Might again have herds of mammoths. There's a pretty neat one here. So here in the deep, you can see where we have what is pottery. This is a fired piece of pottery inside of this. Well, there's a lot of pottery in here, actually. But this is the clay packing where all these are, and that's why they're all washing out. I could try to get this out, but it is fired inside of there. But it would be worth it to try to extract it because the things that are having pottery, or made of pottery, are very easy to see. Oh, well, it broke, unfortunately. That stinks. Super hard to get this stuff out without messing it up and breaking it. But this actually might have been just part of the wall when they cooked it. But you can see the hard, heavy dyes on this. It's really pretty, the coloration that they have. So I'll stick that up here and see how it melts. So the face image that I think we can end on was up here. There's a one that I wanted to show you, but if I can't find it, we'll just take a look at some other ones. Here's a neat one with a neat notch in it, but it's at the end of the row here. It's a blade right here. What the hell, right? Like I said, I don't need to come through here and ravage the site. I know what's going on out here. And just because our state's not going to recognize it, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to. So, trying to honor it, but I'm also just trying to make you guys aware of it, especially any people who have any contacts at the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. And also, I mean, you guys who are watching or listening, if you'd like, go ahead and send them an email. Show them some things that you see on my channel. I mean, some of this stuff is kind of hard to deny. I mean, yeah, sure, anyone can see a face in a cloud, right? But when every single rock you have, this thing's neat. Very cool. So much on it. See the character in white? See the chin, the mouth perhaps? We could flip that over. It's not as good over there. Every which way you turn this thing though, it's gonna have different faces and characters on it, and this is how weird this is. It's kind of what we've figured out is these things repeat over and over again, so if it weren't for that, you might not believe it. All right, folks, I guess I might as well go ahead and stop the video before it stops on me. But thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys get a chance to get out into your creeks and your rivers. Don't let the weather deter you. All right, folks, see you next time.